My name is Eyadan. I'm grade 7. Today I'm going to make an interview about economics. Today I'm going to interview Tita Rachel and Tita Lamek.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I work in a manufacturing company in an import and export company. And this is my husband, Lamek.
I'm Lamek and I'm teaching in the British International School. Okay.
Today I'm gonna ask a question about
Sige.
I'm gonna ask a question and I'm gonna ask a question. First question, how do you view economics?
Economics.
For me, it's like for economics today, if you are focused on today's economic is actually down. So actually in this forecast, it's like it may take like 2 years to recover the economy of the world. I think all over the world because of this pandemic. So for now, in our case, like manufacturing, it's like it may take 1 year for us to recover for the loss of our business in a manufacturing company. But if the pandemic will continue until this year, so maybe for the market of the Europe and US will take time to recover about the loss of the economy.
Well, in connection to that, I view economics as science that involves production, distribution, and consumption of wealth. So, um, usually, uh, when it comes to economics, one thing that comes into my mind is always the law of supply and demand. So the higher the supply, the lower the demand. The higher the demand, the lower the supply. So that's how I view economics. I'm not very good at that, but uh, it's just that if if more people are needing things, it means it will become expensive, it will become scarce. But if commodities are produced in a big quantity, it means it becomes lower, and the demand will be lower as well. So it's as is.
The second question is, what are your financial priorities?
For me as a mother, is my priorities are for the schooling of my kids because they're still so young. So my priorities are to save the money for the schooling of my children, and so as to save money also for my retirement. That is my priority so far. For my early retirement at the age of 50, I'd like to retire so I can have my own business. Something like this.
Yeah, I think that goes with that also. So priority is, of course, ever since I had my own children, married and had our own children. So the priority was shift from a personal level to a family level. So that's why we try to invest now our money in insurance
company.
life insurance, so that sooner or later we will have those if we need them in the future. So it's all for the kids, all for
The
their
future
future.
of the children.
Yeah.
What is your major?
What is not?
What is your major economics event?
Okay. So for me, the major economic, the start. So the time we get married, I think that's the that's the major event that happened to me with regards to economics personally, because when you are single, you can buy anything you want, you can go in whenever you want, so there is no pressure at all. But when we had our children and they're starting to grow and having their own needs, so that's the pivotal point wherein you have to think of something else, you have to think of others. So for me, that's the major economic event happening in my life, wherein I'm not now thinking of myself, but I have to think about my kids and my wife.
Should I answer that also? Yes. For me, when I started working at age of 20, actually it's like in myself, it's like I always help my relatives or like my family. I always help them how to, I support them. So I think I started that uh, at young age. I started to invest. I started to support my family. So I think at early age I already learned a lot how to what is it? How, yeah. At early age I learned how to handle my finances. I was able to invest my money to like the land, or I bought some houses, and I was able to send my brother and sister to school. And until now, I was able to help my family in the Philippines. So I think that is my major economics.
Event.
Yeah, that is my major economic events until now, is helping my family in the Philippines.
Okay, the last question is what you have experienced
History?
historically?
Historical economy? What you have experienced historically?
With regards to economics,
Yeah.
historically. For me, when I was a kid, there was this recession. I think it was from the 1980s, wherein the price of sugar, since I came from Negros Occidental, and the commodities there is sugar, so there was a recession in the global market. So um, it means nobody is buying sugar anymore during the time. So that would entail that people in Negros, in my place, okay, have nothing more, or we cannot sell sugar outside. So basically, a lot of farmers, a lot of people came bankrupt, and the economy of Negros Occidental at that time was at its lowest level. So there was a time that famine was experienced in our land. And I remember when I was a kid, during the time, okay, I experienced having or eating salt, okay, put in rice just to have our meal. Although we're not that, but since there was not enough food during that time, so for me, it was quite an experience that I cannot forget, especially when economic was a little bit unstable during that time. So imagine eating rice with salt or soy sauce and cooking oil. So I was able to experience that one. But it didn't last, but it sticks into my mind and up until now. It's a memory that I cannot forget. What about-
Actually, for my case, during the younger days, I don't remember all of that. But I just when I came here in Vietnam, it was like year 2004. During that time the first day when I came here is like I noticed the price of the rice. The rice here is for 1 kilo is only 4,000 to 5,000 per kilo.
Sandong.
Yes,
That's
4,000 to 5,000 dong per kilo during the year of 2004. But now for the price for this year is like 24 to 28,000 dong per kilo. So I think um uh I think for that case is like for me I was able to monitor the price during the year 2004 up to now. So you can see how the price increased so much and how the economy grows so fast. So that is what I remember during that year 2004.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's may closing.
Yeah, okay.
Sabi ganun. So, i-ano mo, i-edit mo siya, yung
Okay.
ikakat
Boy,
mo.
you papa.